Hey guys, it's Jason here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. Today's video, guys, is going to be on the 6S Kraton. I get a lot of messages and just comments regarding this truck because I started it about 10 months ago, guys, and I have not, to this day, guys, I've only ever driven it, I think, for maybe like 2 minutes in front of my house at one point when I had the stock system in it. So I thought, guys, I would take this time today and in this video to kind of go over it. We're going to unbox my new motor. It's a Hobbywing 1650 kV motor going into it. And just kind of, again, guys, going over it, showing you guys what I've done, the parts I've changed, let you know the oils I'm running and all that kind of fun stuff. Anyways, guys, let's get it off the shelf and onto the bed. So, guys, obviously what stands out, first and foremost on this truck are the chassis and the shock towers. They're from Just Bash It RC. These parts, guys, for me are definitely overkill. I don't have, the massive jumps, those awesome spots that you see that some people run in their videos. I don't have those. So pretty much, my jumps are usually smaller. I'm going to build a jump this year so I can have a little bit more fun than just kind of running them, off of the, the hills and stuff that I have available to me here that I use. But I honestly, guys, I don't care. When I saw these parts, you know what? They just stood out as something that I have to have. I think they just give the truck that much better of a look, that much more hardcore of a look. And that, guys, again, that's it. It's, I don't ever try to pretend that I'm Mr. Hardcore Bash It. That's not who I am. I'm just a guy that, enjoys RCs, likes building them, likes customizing them. And that's how this truck became what it is now. So again, guys, Just Bash It RC. Front and rear shock towers, as well as the chassis. I don't know if I've already said it, guys, is 5mm thick compared to the 3mm thick stock chassis. One thing, guys, I didn't say, I'm not running the tower-to-tower brace with this chassis, guys, because it is 5mm. You don't need it. And I have read and watched a few people, a couple of videos where people actually say that brace is kind of off in its measurements a little bit. So supposedly it actually adds strain to the truck, which from what I understand may have caused some of the more hardcore guys to actually bend their stock chassis. Again, guys, that's, I didn't prove that or anything like that. It's just some stuff that I read, some, information that I'd gotten from a few people. So again, but because, guys, I have that 5mm chassis, I do not need to run the stock brace. All right, guys, up front, obviously, guys, we have the Just Bash It RC shock tower. You're going to be seeing that a lot in the video because I just like looking at those parts. But I've replaced, guys, a lot of the front end. So I've got a full hot racing diff housing. So I've got the main part. You can't really see it on the front, but you can see it on the back, this part right here. You have that part there, which is, what your diff sits into and the bearings sit into. But then you also, if you want to completely, guys, replace your full diff housing, you got to purchase this front upper part. So that's like the cover that will sit on your diff. And then you also have to purchase, guys, this little, it holds your sway bars in. That comes with the front and the rear. So you only have to purchase one of those because it'll come with both that you need. Everything else, guys, is a separate piece. I've got full RPM arms, front and rear. One thing, guys, I'm going to make note of, this is the stock Kraton bumper. You obviously have to have that because it holds your hinge pins in. The Typhoon, however you want to pronounce it, has a lot smaller one. So it's something, guys, I'm going to order probably sooner than later because just because I have the RPM bumper, I find this kind of looks a little bit goofy, but oh well, for now it'll do. I've got hot racing parts, guys, on all four corners. So the steering knuckles and then the rear bearing carriers. Do they add strength? I honestly, guys, don't know. I don't ever pretend, and I will never, be the type of person that says you have to upgrade all your parts to aluminum or anything like that. Because I don't know if I really feel like they're a huge benefit. Again, just like with the diff, the one advantage, guys, to having those type of aluminum parts, especially parts that hold bearings, is your heat will dissipate better. You shouldn't get the warpage that if you apply heat to plastic that you'll get with the aluminum. So that's kind of the advantage, guys. I do know most bigger trucks, especially if you get into the bigger fifth scales and stuff like that, they will have aluminum, diff housings and stuff like that. And that is the reason, guys, behind it, is that, again, it'll help with dissipating the heat and prevent warpage in the plastic. All right, guys, moving on. Obviously, guys, we've upgraded the servo. Stock servo's a little weak. It's a Savox 1231, I think. 500 ounce when it's at, when, you know, if you've got your BEC and all your settings max type thing. I've got hot racing braces front and rear. I've got the hot racing, I don't know, it's kind of, I guess, your center diff mount, I guess you can say. It's the quick release one. And then there's just this nice little kind of hot racing top part, which I just found that just looked clean and stuff like that. Arrma's diff housings cases, I don't know how you'd want to refer to them as. I've got those guys in all 3 diffs. Again, same thing, guys, with the housings. They just help guys with heat. They help dissipate heat. They shouldn't warp. So again, that's, you know, the advantage of having those. I'm running 200 thou diff oil in the center, and I have 50 thou in the front and the rear. I got that, guys, that setup from another Kraton V4 that I had got. Right around the time that I bought this new one, I had done a trade and got a used one. And it seemed to perform, guys, really, really well. I like driving the truck with that setup in it, so I decided that I was going to use that same setup on this truck. If, after I run it for a while, guys, obviously this is going to have a lot bigger motor than the stock one I'd gotten in the trade had. Maybe I'll need to tune that a little bit more, but we'll see. We'll wait till, you know, I start really running the truck and decide if that's something that I need to change. I'm not going to spend, guys, a whole bunch of time in the back or the rear of the truck, just because, I mean, you kind of saw most of the same. It's the same stuff that's in the front. So I have the Just Bash It RC rear shock tower. I have the hot racing diff housing. I have the RPM wing mounts. I do need to add, guys, the stock, it's not really stock, but the upgrade Arrma wheelie bar. Just because right now I know I'll destroy the wing. Rear carriers. Again, 50 thou weight oil in the rear. I've got the, can't really see it, but I've got the RPM rear skid plate. I'm running, guys, stock shock oil at the moment, which obviously, guys, I think will be something I'll be changing. But again, guys, until I start running this truck, you know, it's so hard. You can go online and search all you want, you know, people's setups and stuff like that. But until you kind of get your truck out there running and know how you want to drive it, you know, you can't really, you know, you can kind of start with people's recommendations, but it's once you start running your truck that you'll get an idea of how you want it to run and what you need to change. All right, guys, this thing is an utter beast. You know, they do such, you know, it's funny. Hobbywing, you know, used to be the kind of company that, you know, they were kind of the cheaper product, and now they're pretty much, guys, right up there, I think, with pretty much all the really good ones. You know, the fit and finish, guys, on it looks great. You know, these bevels, everything looks perfect. One thing, when I took it out, I was like, wow, I mean, even though I knew the sizes of it, it's definitely, guys, is huge, but it definitely looks, guys, like it's going to work. It's definitely going to fit, guys. There's not going to be a problem there. Hopefully, I guess I should say that. Obviously, once I get the pinion in and all that kind of fun stuff, I'll be able to get kind of a better idea. I'm hoping that these motor leads are going to be long enough. The Max 6, guys, will be sitting right here. And obviously I need to, I don't really want to add any type of extensions or anything like that on it, but I'm thinking with the, with the size of the Max 6, everything's elevated a little bit, that these should work. What I'm going to do, guys, now is I'm going to go, and I think I have a 20-tooth pinion for this, and we're going to we'll install this right now. All right, guys, I went ahead and removed the sliding motor mount plate, I think is how they refer to it. Obviously, you got the motor mount and then the motor mount plate. This is the sliding piece that goes back so that you can adjust for your pinions and all that kind of stuff. I already kind of checked, I double checked just to make sure that all the screw holes will line up. They will, so everything will be good that way. What, guys, I'm going to be doing at this part is I'm not going to be using any Loctite or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of get everything in, judge everything, size everything up, make sure everything goes in properly. At that point, guys, once I know everything's good to go, I'll redo it again, guys, with Loctite and, obviously make it more permanent. But I just, instead of doing the Loctite right now, I just want to make sure, guys, everything is good to go. All right, guys, so I got the pinion in, and the motor obviously mounted in there now. The one thing, because this, guys, is a fairly thick pinion, you can't reverse it. So you can't have, the hangout over here type thing, because the screw won't, there's not enough room for the screw to sit, because, again, the pinion is so thick that it actually hits the motor mount. So that, guys, is pretty much the best I could do. It's making full contact. Obviously, it looks like it's hanging out, but it is making full contact with the spur. So I think we'll be good to go. We won't have to worry about that. It's, man, guys, it's definitely starting to take shape. All right, guys, there you have it. We got the 1650 kV mounted in. Guys, at this point now, I'm waiting on just the ESC. Kind of sucks, guys. What happened was I did actually have a spare Spectrum Firma 160 amp, the ESC, the same ESC, guys, it's actually in the Kraton 8S. I had a spare one of those that I was going to use. When I took it out of the box and I was just kind of sitting it with the truck, I didn't like the orange anodizing with the red. I know, obviously, guys, I have some orange on the servo, but I just didn't like the look. Plus, it also, guys, it has that sensor wire in it for the batteries and all that kind of stuff. So to switch that over to XT90 was, again, guys, if you watch the Kraton 8S video, I don't actually know what you're supposed to do with that wire if you're not soldering into an IC5 connector. So that also didn't work. And then I would have to switch over all my other batteries. So I decided to just say, screw it. I sold it and I ordered a Max 6. But it'll probably take a couple of weeks to get here, whatever. But yeah, guys, at this point now, I'm almost golden. Yeah, we're missing tires. Those will be here, guys, early this week. I picked up a set of Proline MX38 Badlands, the belted ones. So they're a little bit narrower than the first kind of gen Badlands that came out. So again, they'll be belted. They're a little bit narrower. I think they'll look better. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I know this was kind of a bit of a longer, hopefully not super boring video. I just wanted to kind of go over the truck. Anybody that has not watched any of the videos leading up to it, at least now you kind of, you'll be up to speed on what's going on with this truck and what's done. But guys, as always, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you can, subscribe. We're going to go out now, guys, and take a few pictures. And I hope you enjoy them. Anyways, guys, Thanks a lot and stay safe.